Hi, I am Kiran from Kiran Testing Academy. In this series of interview questions, today we are going to discuss about few questions on software testing lifecycle. Software development lifecycle has different phases. In the testing is a phase. Now, this testing phase also contains some internal phases process. Okay, so in interviews generally, it may be for 2 or 3 years experience or even for the 1 year experience people, they may ask you questions related to this software testing life cycle. Okay, so questions almost looks like this, like, can you explain process of testing in your project, or have you implemented testing process in your organization, or they may ask you explain STLC process in your project, or what steps involved in testing process in your project or in your organization, or they may ask you please let us know testing process or stage by stage testing process in your organization. These are most commonly asked interview question. Okay, or these are the types of questions what we get in software testing lifecycle. Okay, so this all questions represents the process. Okay, so you need to understand the testing process, or technically you need to explain software testing lifecycle to them. Okay, so what are the phases involved in software testing lifecycle and how to explain them, so that we are going to have a look on. Now, whenever we talk about the process, so in any organization, software testing process is structured. So to develop an application, we need to go with the structured process, or to test also we need to go with a structured process. Okay, yes. And what are the key components involved? Requirement analysis, test planning, test case design, test environment, test execution, defect reporting and tracking them, regression testing, test closure, and continuous improvements. These are the major factors, what are major components or major process what we have in our organization to develop to test an application. Okay, this is what your answer should be. Okay, so now let us go bit deeper into this subject. Okay, so that you can get some points, and if possible even you can explain this in the interview. So first, what happens in a requirement analysis that you need to explain. So generally we start thoroughly going through the requirements. We'll understand the requirements and the testing scope. Okay, so while understanding the testing scope, even some cases will involve stakeholders to clarify if any thing exists. Okay, this is one. Next, test planning. So our test lead or test manager will develop a test plan document. Okay, so based on the requirements, a detailed plan will be created, or a roadmap for the testing process will be created. Okay, so where timelines, resources, okay, risk management will be given in that document. So technically, test plan document is a document which explains about what to test, what not to test, where to test, and when to test. Okay, this is purely a tester's document which is generally developed by test lead or test manager for the team members. Okay, so first we will be analyzing the requirements, then we'll get a test plan document from our concerned team, then we'll start writing the test cases. Okay, depending on the requirements provided. Okay, so you know what our test cases is. So we are going to write positive and negative test cases. Okay, we are going to cover all the inputs. Okay, we use BV and ECP testing techniques to test an application, and we are going to map the requirements to check, like, ensure that everything is covered or not. Okay, next, after writing the test environment, or on the other hand, test environment setup will happen. Okay, this is as equal to as actual production environment. Okay, so test environment will be set up to you. As a tester, you are not going to set up the test environment. Most of the cases you have a special team which does this activity for you, but this is also stage, this is also step in our process. Next, test execution. Once the environment is ready, you are going to execute all the test cases. Okay, and if you encode any problem in this process, we are going to report the defect. The next step is defect reporting. Okay, So not only defect reporting, we are going to track the defect reporting also. Okay, so that the two things here, we need to report the defect and as well as we need to track it so that it get fixed. Okay, so once after defect reporting is done, okay, if defect is fixed, we are going to perform that regression testing to check the impact, okay, of the modification. Once regression is also everything is fine, then we are going to close the test. Okay, after all the testing activities are completed, okay, we are going to generate a test closure report. Once after test closure report is done, like before going to the next sprint or before going to the next set of test cases, okay, so we're going to have a meeting where we discuss about continuous improvements. Okay, so this is software testing life cycle, and as well as this is the process of testing an application. Okay, so once an interview asks you about explain the process of testing or explain the process of STLC, so all this we need to explain to them. Okay, so thank you so much. If you like my videos, please subscribe to YouTube channel. If you want live sessions, please enroll at kiranTestingAcademy.com or kiranTestingAcademy.in. You can find the links in description. Thank you so much.